started recording?
Now we have, yes.
No! Hello!
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't really care.
It's just funny. All right. So to begin week 3, session 3, episode 3, we dive in. We're going to pick up right where the last game's left off, where you guys had just gone to the Temple of Umberlee in Baldur's Gate. I guess y'all went there to find a cure for Mugrunden's lycanthropy, and y'all did accomplish that by meeting a contact that Finn knew, and Master Kelvin. And from that, y'all had a encounter where the storm and everything that was happening outside kind of like came to full force as the statue of Umberlee began to speak, and the waves crashed in and flooded the temple. And from there, y'all had these deep ones, these fish people that looked a lot different than the ones y'all saw before, come in. Y'all fought some of those. And then the priest and the clerics of the temple who had been running for safety, something happened where they all answered the call of Umberlee and turned to fight you. And y'all ended up killing the priest and also Master Kelvin. One or two of them did get away, but y'all did cause quite a ruckus. So during that fight, both Finn and Glendon went down in combat. Not dead, just minorly impaired. Mugrunden finished the fight and was able to resuscitate both of you. And if I remember correctly, once Glendon got up, he used his lay on hands to get both he and Finn up a little. So you're not gushing blood, you're back standing, but you're weak, you're tired, you're injured. And that is the scene that we're going to pick up. Y'all have just ended combat. Y'all just basically picked yourselves up off the floor. I don't have it on here, but the bodies of the fishmen are still starting about. There's 4 of those. You've got the acolyte bodies that were ripped apart from the breath weapon of Mugrunden. And you also have Kelvin, who's laying there, who I believe he also got crushed by Mugrunden's two-hander, if I believe. I think that's how it went.
I believe so.
Does that sound right? Yeah, sounds right. Okay. So that is exactly where we're leaving off. So let's pick up right there. So the scene again, Glendon, Finn, y'all are, I believe, at like 6 hit points. I'm not sure what Mugrunden is at because I know that he flexed and used his.
I think it was at like 17.
Yeah, yes, it was. I remember you had used your second wind and actually rolled pretty well with it, if I remember correctly.
Well, I remember it brought me to max, but then I got hit by 9 again. So
Gotcha.
I should be at 16.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's where we are right now. So let's pick up here. What do y'all want to do from the scene right here? So the water is still knocked out. I mean, there's basically like this big wave that's come in that's knocked out because this temple sits on the edge of the docks, and the water has risen and flooded. So now it's not just the tide came in. I mean, the water level is high. It's flooded part of the city, and water has crushed in through the windows, has shattered the glass, and now the water has come up to where the map is accurate. So the water has come up to where y'all are kind of slushing around in 6 inches to a foot of water.
Are any of the ones who lived still around?
They have left. Take it back. One stayed. Sammy stayed. There was one acolyte that stayed behind.
His name was Sammy?
Her name was Sammy.
Her name was Sammy.
Does she seem afraid of us, or what is she doing?
Remember, she was actually fighting you, and then whenever Kelvin went down, whatever the magical charm that had hit her, she kind of came to her senses. And saw what was happening, and she was the one that was grieving over Kelvin. She's crying. She's looking up at both Mugrunden and Finn, saying, "What have you done? What's happened?" I mean, and remember, she also is asking, "Is this her fault?" She's new to the order of the priesthood of Umberlee, and now because everyone is afraid of Umberlee, they worship not out of love, but out of fear. It's
Okay, here's what we're doing. She knows me.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to her because she doesn't remember anything.
I don't know.
I'm going to go to her and say, there were some of us whose minds were taken by Umberlee, and she caused us to fight the others who weren't. That's what has happened. You were taken.
But
should I say I was?
You
so
fought well, Sam.
She's like kind of neophyte, kind of first degree.
And when
Acolyte
she's
of
crying,
Umberlee.
she's crying. She looks at it and goes, "But how did this happen? Why is Umberlee so mad? And why did you kill all of my brothers and sisters?"
Well,
Sometimes with the shark bites, you got to bite back.
It was
You
that
fought well,
or be
they
killed.
attacked us.
It was that or be killed. I believe Umberlee wanted us to fight each other in some type of vicious entertainment.
She
Yeah, I'm just gonna-
she looks up. She goes, "This isn't right. This isn't right." She gets up and she starts moving towards the statue of Umberlee. She kneels before Umberlee and she's crying out to Umberlee like, "No, please forgive us. Whatever we've done wrong, please, pull back your wrath." I mean, she's basically at this point has left y'all and is pleading for Umberlee to, call back the wrath that she's put upon. I mean, she fully believes that whatever has happened is your fault, her fault, someone's fault. Whatever it is, Umberlee is pissed, and she's trying to, she's begging, like, what sacrifice must be made? So that's what the scene is right now, is that Sammy is off. She's begging Umberlee, she's basically groveling at the feet of the statue. So
I'm going to whisper to Finn. I'm going to say, she needs to, like, maybe we can try to persuade her that this was, like, somebody else's direction. Maybe it wasn't Umberlee. Maybe try to get her, I don't know, maybe persuade her that this was like another force or something, just to, so she doesn't run out, hey, these guys just slaughtered everybody.
Well, she's not really seeming like she's trying to get anybody in trouble. She seems like she's just distraught because she's scared to death of her.
Mugrunden, give me a perception check.
Oh, perception. I got to pull up my sheet. I will roll a perception.
12. You are standing in the water. You're still standing over Kelvin. You've kind of turned your shoulders around. At this point, you've got your maul resting on the water. You're kind of using it to kind of lean on as you're still kind of catching your breath from combat. You look over and you see Sammy as she's begging over. You look at the reflection of the water and you see what appears to be a slightly altered version of yourself, as your reflection doesn't look exactly right. And you see your reflection leave where it should be and start like moving over into this direction, south.
I'm going to follow it.
As you follow your reflection, you notice that you're kind of like looking at it. It looks like you. The clothing and everything is the same, but the horns, like where your head kind of comes up a little bit, is actually more protruding up a little bit. So like an older, more mature version of yourself or something. And it moves.
It gets less mature.
As it moves to the edge of the water, it actually you see it disappear as it moves to the edge of the water here.
Interesting. Is there anything going along that southern wall?
There are windows going to the outside.
I'm going to go take a peek out of one of those windows. Say, I can't click on my guy.
Now,
Uh-oh.
I can't click on me.
the
Hang on.
I can't either.
I know what I did. I made you part of the map. And you are not part of the map. I know! You're not the map.
No. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
No, you're not. Now you can.
I'm not the map anymore.
All right. Let
You
me
did
do
the
that
same
for
for
the
all of us.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. Oh, layers and layers and layers. There's him. And there's where's Glendon go? There's Glendon. All right. So you go and as you look out the window, you feel like as you walk by, like you walked past, like you felt breath, like you walked past someone, and you turn, look, and there's no one there. You look out the window and you see a couple of people running about the outside, splashing across into the courtyard of the dock area, and you see they're wearing the same Umberlee robes that you saw Finn running, and they're calling out and they're saying, you see one older gentleman with a staff and a big beard calling, goes, "Help! Help! They're desecrating the temple!" And with that, you see several people running in, lighting torches, getting their pitchforks, pulling together.
Well, I turn to Finn and Glendon and my friends. It looks like we got a riot on our hands. They think we're desecrating the temple.
I think we should leave.
That's probably time to do so. Can you run?
I'm going to ask. I'm going to try to convince Sammy that she's one of the ones they're after too.
Okay.
Ooh.
Give me a perception check. Not perception. Persuasion. Give me a persuasion check. What? So it is my fault. Umberlee is mad at me as well?
I think this is just a misunderstanding, but I think it's in your best interest if you come with us right now.
Okay. Are they going to kill us?
Let's handle one crisis at a time. I'm going to walk out into the water here and see if there's any nearby. If there was just this big wave coming through, is there any overturned boats? Is there any wreckage or anything that I could get these people to get out of the temple?
Yes, there is. There's actually one large galleon that is like basically been broadsided by this thing, and there's a lot of boxes and things into the. It's like basically everything that was on that boat is now like in the surf around.
I'm going to tell them to come down to the edge of the water, and I'm going to swim with each. I'm going to turbo swim each one to this galleon to try to leave them there and come back and get the other.
So basically, and we can understand. So you're going this way out.
Yes.
Okay. So as y'all are moving, you, Finn, you get in the water. Now, who are you going to grab first to take to the? Are you basically like going to like the first crate out that you can see? Is that, or are you trying to get to the galleon itself?
I'm going to try to take Sammy first because here's the thing. Worst case scenario, she's the only witness that's not in on this story. So I want her out of here when somebody else comes in.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And if she drowns?
No. I don't roll like that.
Okay. So you swim and you pull her. Now, as you're pulling her over, that it's going to take a minute for you to do that. Couple of reasons. One, it's a bit of a distance, and you're actually like swimming. It's kind of weird, like swimming down, like following the water down as it's starting to kind of come out. So you're following the waves down. It's a bit of a distance. So while he is taking Sammy and swimming down to that, what are Glendon and Mugrunden doing?
Really, just waiting on the edge. I gotta see Finn's plan through.
Okay.
Does Finn have the crescent?
Mugrunden has it.
Okay.
Around my neck like this.
Remember, she said something about having it returned to her, and I think that's the last thing we want to do. Now, as far as the statue, we figured out that this originally went on the statue, correct?
What originally went on the statue?
The crescent.
No, that was not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to loot any bodies of priests and acolytes. That just feels horrible. Let me look at one of these fishmen.
Lose
kind
the
of
temper.
scoping them out while we're waiting.
All right.
Any clothes, or they all just basically flesh?
All right. Yeah. So, where are you? Are you? I remember the two of the bodies. There was one, basically here. There's another one, a little bit further
Yeah,
here.
since I'm right there, I'll look at the one
right.
closest to me.
All right, so you look down and you see that black ichor kind of just oozing out into the water. You see that it's heavy and it actually drops, like it has like the ichor itself doesn't like mix with the water like blood would. It actually falls to the ground and it's like has a sludge on the bottom of the tile. So that's what you're like. Now give me a perception check.
All right. All right, here we go.
Hey, as you look down, your keen furball ears kind of perk up a little bit as you hear the knocking of plates together. That is you've heard this before as armored troops move through the wood. You hear that kind of congregating at the front door.
Ooh, okay.
Where's the front door at?
I'm pinging it.
That's the front door?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I'm going to say, guys, I think they're here already. I'm going to start swimming towards the galleon.
Okay.
As best as I can in chainmail.
Yeah, when I see him start running, I start running through the water as well.
Okay. All right. So you both jump into the water. The water, like I said, it's flowing. You are wearing chainmail, so both of you give me an athletics check with disadvantage because you're both wearing heavy mail, heavy armor.
Athletics.
Your athletics checks for both of y'all should be pretty decent. Uh-oh.
You'd be surprised.
All right, Mugrunden comes in with a 7.
A mighty 7.
And all right, so the Furbolg, even though you're heavy, you're actually able to pull yourself up because you're strong and you're like just making these broad strokes. So you're pulling the water up. You pull yourself up. Mugrunden, you are going the weight of the maul and also just the exhaustion of combat. The water overtakes you and you sink like a rock. Glendon, you're just swimming as fast as you can, and you don't notice that you're just eye on the prize. You don't notice the fact that Mugrunden has sunk all the way down to the bottom. Okay. As he sinks, he keeps sinking. Like you're going fast. I mean, you're heavy.
I'm still like doing the running motion though.
Right,
underwater.
Right. Make a Constitution saving throw.
I keep going over to my D&D Beyond sheet instead of my Roll20 sheet.
A 6, which is actually a nat 1.
I'm great at holding my breath.
You in a moment of pure panic, you breathe in as you're sinking, and the seawater just fills your lungs. As that happens, you in a moment that you don't quite understand, you exhale that water as well. And then you take another breath and you realize that somehow you're breathing underwater.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh, did you eat some of that ichor?
I'm not telling you nothing. How comfortable am I with this new water breathing thing that's happening?
It comes very naturally.
I'm going to yell out to Glendon. Wait!
All right, so Glendon, you're swimming. You make it to the point. You turn around and look. Mugrunden is nowhere to be seen until eventually he just kind of like pulls himself up from the very bottom of the ocean. It takes a minute, but somehow he took the worst possible route of going all the way down and coming back up. So you make it outside. So now basically y'all are floating in the harbor as the water is kind of pulling back. Basically this wave kind of came up and sat up. And then as the water kind of has come down, y'all are just kind of riding it back out. So now y'all are kind of out in the harbor. Let's go to that map.
I'm gonna tell Mugrunden maybe it's the crescent. Gives you the gift.
Maybe what's the crescent?
It's like a rebreather.
Okay, so you can see this is the White Queen's house. It's here. So y'all are basically out here. If you can zoom in just a hair. Oh, that's not zooming. Now, when I do that, does that affect y'all? When I zoom the map?
No.
Okay, it's just me. All right. So here's the Water Queen's house. So y'all are just basically in the harbor right there. So all 4 of you are hanging out, floating around in the harbor. So what do y'all want to do?
All right. Have we evaded eyes so far?
It appears so. It is nightfall, and there is mass chaos right now because the wave, it took out some buildings. There's a lot of destruction. I mean, you've seen what a tsunami looks like as it crushes in. Not quite to that level of destruction, but it's mass pandemonium right now on the docks. Most of the boats seem to be okay.
So
this one just got broadsided.
The fishermen bodies were left in there.
Say that again?
The fishermen bodies got left in there, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
We still had the fishermen bodies in there?
Have the what?
Okay.
Yeah, you're kind
Sorry,
of
I'm
going
lagging.
digital on
I
me.
said the fishermen bodies got left in there, so they're going to find those as they come in here.
Yes.
Okay, that's
And we lost
Yeah.
him. He is gone. And he's
They
back!
might think that
Hey,
think that they did battle
is this any better?
instead of
Yes.
us, but
Okay.
they may think that we summoned them or something.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I can approach back kind of from the side and see if I get noticed, because if I do get noticed, I can just jump back in the water and haul ass. Whereas y'all are stuck in the city if you try to come in out of the water. So maybe they go in there, they find what they find, they assume that this is what happened, and we're cool.
Yeah, so I guess
So do y'all want to just wait here? And
well, you could, but I feel like our options are either, like, regardless of what we find out, our options are either to take the boat out into the sea and hightail it out of here, or go back to Neville
Y'all
Tallfellow.
are basically holding on to like a floating like barrel.
Oh, we're not on a boat.
The boat.
Oh, gotcha.
A galleon had flipped, and everything on that is floating in the harbor. Y'all are basically like holding on to this.
Like
There are other boats if y'all want to go and get on a boat.
Stowaway. I think we should probably ask Neville maybe what we should do.
Yeah, I don't know how long I want to hold on to this barrel like I'm Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right, because I'm the same way. Yeah, I know.
Did I see Mugrunden come up from out of the water?
Yeah, you did.
I'm going to ask him, do you have some sort of magic that lets you breathe underwater?
Apparently. Not any that I was aware of, but I did get a little bit of the seawater into my lungs. Don't know how I'm still alive at this point.
Okay. So here's what I think we should do. You're taken care of because you can just walk.
Suppose you're right.
Danny, I think what you should do is put all your armor in the barrel.
My armor in the barrel.
And
won't the barrel sink?
I can come back and get it. Yeah, I can just come and get it.
Yeah.
So if you swim out of here to wherever you need to go, instead of failing a bunch of saves with armor on, if you just put it here and let it sink, I'll just come back and get it to you. We don't have to go back. We don't have to go back to.
How long would it take me to doff armor?
Like,
like 5 minutes, isn't it?
It's 5 minutes. Yeah, but that's on land.
Yeah, on land. So this would be.
It would be. I mean, you could definitely kick out of it. It would take a few minutes.
It wouldn't like each piece like float away.
And it also wouldn't be quiet either.
Right.
I mean, it'd be a lot of sloshing around. I mean, chainmail's in like pieces.
What's the nearest boat near, or is the nearest boat or the nearest piece of land to us besides the one we just came from?
I mean, you could swim across, or you could. There's a boat you could get to.
Okay.
I think we could paddle our little raft. You know, hold on to our little
There's 4
tube.
of you at this point. I think y'all can. You've got 2 water breathers, so you could kind of move around the bay however you want. It's just, are you gonna get? Y'all tell me, what do y'all want to do?
What, are they going to be upset that we're out here floating in a tsunami?
That's a fair point.
How dare
we
you?
gotta get to Neville.
The problem is I'm the furbog and I can't change.
Do you still have your hat?
Ooh, I don't know. Do I?
You do.
Okay. All right. Hat goes on, and I am.
You
This
are
time
Johnny
I'm
Carson elf still.
He's been seen a little bit. Let's change this up a little bit. I won't look like Joe Pesci from Home Alone. That's what we're doing tonight.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, you got
I like
the sock hat on already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The wet bandits.
He's the
See you around, kid. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the
I'll
plan?
just make myself, human looking.
Okay, so you're floating around as human. All right, so what's the plan?
Should we try to get back to Neville?
I think so.
This is more on y'all because I can just take her and she can swim. Like, she can hang onto my back and I can swim her anywhere. So whatever y'all want to do.
I think we should probably go back to.
I don't want to split up because I don't want to make it more difficult.
Exactly.
All right. So you guys are gonna swim and try to get back to Neville, who is probably at the tavern about here.
Yeah, or at least swim up to the docks. And
where are we? We're like over here.
You're here, so you just gotta swim across.
Not too
So,
bad.
like,
We can
there.
have-
And you can get up on this dock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll start paddling.
All right. So y'all paddle across using the barrel as a raft. It doesn't take long with all of you to do this. And as you get over to the dock, this dock also was completely washed over with waves. There's, you've basically got now a lot of, men are like, moving about the docks, and they're trying to fish all of the crates and things, and they're trying to clean up the debris. But it's mass chaos at this point. So it's very easy for y'all to like swim up. They even see you like, oh, let me help you up. At this point, y'all are survivors. They don't know anything.
Has the water washed back out into the sea?
It's starting to come back, but it's a process. It's a lot of water.
Sure.
But it is starting to come back. Like, you can actually get up on the dock and walk around on it. I mean, it's drenched. Everything is drenched, but you can walk on it. So as y'all are walking down the dock, the 4 of you, Sammy stops and says, "Why? I need to get back. What are we gonna do?" I mean, she's like y'all are trying to play it cool. She's panicking.
She's in shock.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's like 15.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Persuasion? Maybe?
What do you want to do?
Calm her down.
All right, Glendon, you're on deck. She's looking at you. What are we gonna do?
Patience, child. All right. Shall we continue your lesson?
All right, so you're gonna try to calm
I'm
her
back
down.
with my +1. All right,
Go
let's
for
do
it.
this.
I just don't think it's gonna happen. They're gonna find us. I mean, we can hide from people all day, but Umberlee's gonna be. You can't hide from her. Like she's like hyperventilating, talking at this point. She's getting really loud. And the more she talks, the more people are looking around. Like, and finally, a couple of guys on the dock goes, "Hey, miss, are you all right? You need some help with those boys? They bothering you?" So at this point, you've got about 4 or so large sailors walking up, making sure that this little girl isn't being harassed by, this motley crew.
Glenda, don't you have some herbs or something you can give her to calm her down?
I have a potion of healing.
A potion of shut the hell up.
The divine smiter. Let's see.
This is quick. She's just panicking, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. And as the guys are coming over, she's like, I don't know, no. And she starts like backing up, like completely freaking out at this point. And she's looking, she's like, I don't know, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And as soon as she says, I don't want to die, the sailors are all like, whoa. And they start like grabbing clubs. Another guy grabs like a harpoon. Like they're arming themselves. He goes, what's all this about? Are you troubling this little girl? And now you've got these 4 sailors like coming up, and now there's a larger, a problem here as other people on the dock are starting. What turned into 4 is now 6.
I step up to the sailors and I tell them, you guys need to back away before you pick a fight that you don't want.
Oh, Jesus.
And I will use intimidation
With my 5 HP.
You gotta try something.
Okay, so 14 plus 1 is 15, correct? What's your plus to persuasion or intimidation?
It's plus 2. No, that's the roll.
That is the number.
14.
That is the number 14.
14.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. They're like, whoa.
Don't worry, the girl is fine. The girl is fine. She's just she's a little freaked out.
I want to approach Umberlee. I mean, not Umberlee. I want to approach Sammy, pull her closer to me, and kind of whisper something to her.
Okay.
I want to tell her, we're trying to help you. People think you are a murderer right now. Deception.
Persuasion.
Well, is that deception or persuasion?
Persuasion. You're trying to persuade her to calm down. And that's deception.
I did not roll that. That was deception. Yeah, okay.
You're not lying to her. So, unchanged, she's panicking, and she's freaking out. And at this point, with the sailors are looking at Mugrunden and go, well, we don't want any trouble with you or whatever that is. And he's pointing over your shoulder as they all start backing up. At that point, Mugrunden, you turn and look, and that shadow that you saw before, or your reflection, is standing beside you, and he looks just like you, just a lot angrier and broader shoulders, and his horns are kind of coming up, and you can kind of see this like electricity like getting ready to come out of its mouth. So they're all backing up from you and your friend.
I reach out and, is it tangible, this friend of mine?
No.
Just kind of passes through it.
They don't know that.
Huh.
Right.
As all of this is happening, so Finn, you're saying that you look over your shoulder, you see this as well, and out of the corner of your eye, you see Sammy bolt down the dock like she's making a run for it.
I didn't mean to startle her. I don't know what this thing is either.
It's just my shadow self.
Me, my shadow, and I.
You know what? I'm done with all this. I'm done with all this. I'm just gonna cast fog cloud and let's walk away.
You had cast fog cloud previously on the bridge. And it's the
so
same
this
day.
is
It's the same
no short rest, no nothing.
Yeah, we haven't had a rest.
I'll get wrecked. Get wrecked.
All right, so
I need to go somewhere.
She runs. The sailors are backing off.
Okay,
I think she's gone. Unless y'all want to pursue her.
Fine. She runs. I'm tired. I'm tired of dealing with her.
At least she'll live this way.
All right, Sammy
won't get
runs.
us into a fight.
She leaves. The sailors back up. They seem to be happy with the fact that she got away and they did their job. They protected the girl, and they didn't have to fight you and whatever that thing is over there.
That's right.
So the sailors are all like, well, we don't want any
Savory
trouble.
comment.
There's a lot of strange going on. So
No, it's all right. I
and
understand.
I think we all need to be paying homage to Umberlee, that bitch queen. We don't want any problem with her. And they all kind of like are backing up. So at that point, what are y'all doing as the sailors are backing up? Sammy has disappeared into the crowd.
Well, first I give the sailors kind of it's just a misunderstanding. It's all right. I understand it. We're
She was in shock, and we were trying to just calm her down, but hopefully she went back to her temple.
Okay. All right. So, Glendon, what are you doing?
I'm going to head towards Neville. He's like the only person I know in this city.
Right. Okay. So y'all are heading back to the Blushing Mermaid. Y'all go through town. It's the further inland you get, the less wet it is. You realize that the waves seem to, as it came in, it didn't hit this part of town. And as you get closer to the Blushing Mermaid, it's really late. And it's rocking. Like there's a lot going on as we return to the Blushing Mermaid. You get up, it's a packed house. Let me find the old Blushing Mermaid. And we have returned to the scene of the crime, and we can use the tokens exactly where they are, unchanged. All right, so you return to the Blushing Mermaid.
You don't take the mermaid to a meadow.
No. All right.
She'll be very
uncomfortable. So you walk in, the bard is playing in the corner. There's a ton of people here. You smell the smoke. It's even thicker than it was before because it's being freshly smoked. And as you walk in, it is a very lively crowd. You walk in, you see several people gathered around the back corner before you get up to where Neville is. And you see that there seems to be some type of business deal. They're laughing and cheering, and there seems to be a lot of trading of coin going on. With that, Mugrunden, as you're kind of walking in, kind of leading the charge, what are you doing?
Just kind of taking a look, surveying the different people that are around where Neville is as we start to approach. Okay. I don't 100% trust this guy yet.
Yeah, I'm hanging back.
Yeah, y'all are kind of leaning back. He's dealing with what looks to be a company of dwarves. And one of the things that you notice as you walk in is the dwarves, they look a lot different than dwarves you've dealt with before. You've just to the big mountain burly dwarves. These all have like paler skin. And if you look, you're not quite sure what... I don't know, just dwarves, whatever. But they look odd.
It's some strange looking dwarves.
Right.
You know, we haven't set up any kind of lodging at this point, have we?
No, and you're quite tired.
Yeah, if Neville's still kind of busy, I'm gonna walk off, try and find the innkeeper.
Okay.
And see if we can get some rooms upstairs.
All right. Yeah. You go up and you find the innkeep, which is a very large half orc, and dressed to the nines. He's got his fancy coat on, a silk shirt, big collar, and
I appreciate a fancy half orc.
Big gold earring in one side, and he goes, greetings, Dragonborn, correct?
Yes. Hello, my new friend.
Yeah.
We're looking for. I think we'll need 3 rooms for the.
Best I can do is 2. Packed.
2 will do. We'll double up.
All right. Just tonight is all you need.
For now, we're not sure what we're gonna do after all this. Once the city dries out, if you know what I mean.
I understand. Heard a big mess over there with that temple. Anyway, so it'll be 20 silver pieces, 10 silver pieces per room for tonight.
That's fine. I think I've got that.
Okay.
I muckle around in my pouch and figure out if I have 20 silvers.
Yeah, you should.
I should, yeah.
You've stayed around a good bit. That's pretty steep for a room. But it is a crowded
I assume they're fancy accommodations. It must be nice.
You haven't stayed here before, but you've heard good things. So you scrounge around. I think you have 20 silver on your character, on yourself, and you pay the man. And he looks and he goes, "Tell you what, I'll even throw in a round of ale for all of your friends." Actually, yes, ale is good.
I appreciate your hospitality. Sir.
All right, so he gives each of you ale, a round of ale. So, Glendon, you grab it. Mugrunden, Finn, are you a drinking?
Nah.
Oh, so there's 3, and Finn doesn't want one.
I'll drink the other one.
All right, so Mugrunden's got 2. All right.
We got you a room upstairs, Finn. Well, we've got 2 rooms. I don't know who needs to double up at this point. Someone who should probably stay with Glendon.
I can do whatever. I'm used to sparse accommodations.
Okay.
All right, you can stay with Glendon.
I can sleep in the bay.
You can stay in the bay. All right, so who's staying in what room? So,
net. You can make like a sea hammock.
so Glendon and Finn are in one room, and then Mugrunden's got his own. I think that's what I'm hearing. He did pay for it, so I think he gets his own room.
It's fine.
Yeah, the Finn and Glenn connection.
The Finn and Glenn connection. Okay. So as you get your accommodations, you look over. As y'all are kind of walking back by, kind of checking over to see. I've got a gnat or something here. As you're looking over, you look and you see the dwarves are kind of finishing up their dealings. You see the Yuan T Zala look over, spot you, and then look over and start talking to what's his
Neville.
name? Neville. Thank you.
Neville
No,
Tallfellow.
Neville looks over and goes, "Oh yes, is he back? I surely missed my hat." And with that, he shoos the dwarves around away, and he looks over and he goes, "Oh yes, you dragon mugs, you come on over here."
That's me. Yeah.
Yes.
I bring my mugs.
Muggs
my
brings
mug.
his mugs over. He goes, "Mugs, wait. I believe that's Glenn looking like a regular bloke." He goes, "But I understand, I'll let you keep it a while longer. Until tomorrow morning, we'll have breakfast, stay here, I guess. Did they have any accommodations for you?"
They do. They got a couple of rooms for us upstairs.
Perfect. So, heard there was quite a rustle at the temple. I'm sure y'all had something to do with that.
It was hit by a giant wave.
That's quite impressive. I do appreciate y'all having the diversion that y'all had at the temple, because the bank across from it, we robbed blind while you were there. So thank you very much. My dwarven friends here were quite successful in their endeavor.
Now, I noticed something in your dialect. Are you from the south part of the city? You said y'all.
I did. I'm from far south. I'm hella southern.
The deep south of the
The
city.
deep south. I'm from the deep south. Yeah. So
Had to do it. I had to do it.
no. It's I butcher the English language like it's a national pastime. So anyway, so Neville.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's all
I'm
right.
lagging. So, I don't know anything about this crescent necklace at all, do I?
I think Glendon made a comment about it after my water breathing fiasco.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just said the necklace. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can tell Finn about it. You know.
So
Well,
this
what I'm
point-
saying
Well, if
is,
he asks.
At this point, y'all are
I
all at the
wanna
table. Pause. Y'all are at the table with Neville and Zala. So is this a conversation y'all want to have with them or without them?
That's a no.
well, here's what I was going to do, because I don't know. I was going to ask Neville if he knows anything about it, not knowing that they know what it is.
Perfect. And he looks over and goes, "Oh, you have a magical trinket. Now, I know value, but my friend Zala here, she is quite
Wait,
well versed in antiquity."
Did Finn ask about the necklace, or
Yes.
did he ask about the crescent?
The crescent, well, he
that was
points
part
at
of the
it.
puzzle.
He points at it and
Oh.
draws attention to it.
Gotcha.
And Zala looks over and she goes, "Oh," and she looks and goes, "I would very much like to look at that. May I?"
I'd rather you didn't.
And she goes, "Oh, well, I insist." And she looks over at, and whenever you say "I'd rather not," she looks over at Neville, and Neville just kind of like, you see him do a gentle nod towards Zala and take a drink out of his mead. And she looks back at you, and her eyes have kind of shaded over into like they've narrowed into that snake eye, that you would see. And she goes, "No, I insist. Make a wisdom saving throw."
Ooh. No, where'd my character sheet go? All right, give me half a second. A wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Oh snap! As you lock eyes with her, you're just seeing one-on-one with her, like you were completely locked in with her, and you say, "Yeah, I will," and you go to remove it. And when you do that, you hear, like, as soon as it pulls away from your chest, and as you kind of start pulling it up, you hear this scream come out from, it almost sounds like garbled underwater. And you hear it say, "No," and you hear this, it's a female screaming in the water as if it's drowning, like this female is drowning as you're pulling this up. As you go and hand it to her, as soon as it pulls out of your head, you take 6 points of psychic damage as you pull it away and you hand it to her, and you kind of sit there kind of stunned at this point. And do
I get another save after taking damage?
At this point, you're stunned. The amulet, when that happens, the amulet drops. It sits on the table. Zala, who was reaching for it, pulls back and goes, "I don't want to touch that." Like she's like, "No," and she looks over at Neville and goes, "This item is quite cursed." And Neville looks and goes, "What exactly have you found there? There are very few truly interesting cursed items. Where did you find this?"
I'm
Am I still
sure.
stunned?
No, you're not. You're kind of coming to.
I told you that I'd rather not.
And that you just instinctively go and you grab the necklace and put it back on. Like, you don't even think about it.
And shuffle my shoulders a little bit.
Right.
That was a neat little trick, though. It was a neat little trick.
He goes,
I'd prefer you not do that again. That quite hurt.
She looks at you. She looks and goes, "There is more to this story. Where did you find this?"
I think we've had our fun and game. Now, haven't we? Unless you'd like to put it on.
What now?
Unless you'd like to put the necklace on.
Oh no, I think it has its home where it's at. It seems quite content with you. Where
Is there any insight you might have onto this magical trinket besides that it's cursed? Do you recognize it?
Can I roll religion?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You can, but in what context?
Is this I heard what Umberlee said, and now I'm finally seeing this thing.
Yeah.
And the shape of it, and I'm like...
Religion check. I'll give it to you. Okay. It doesn't look familiar to you, and it is not a sigil or anything that you recognize. As you're looking at it, it does look like it may have some type of religious connotation to it, but not Umberlee or anyone that you know that has to do with nothing that you have studied. But it does seem old, and it could be, but nothing that you have particularly been involved with. She looks at that over and goes, "I don't know what it is, but it is very old."
I'm going to ask her if she knows of anybody who could identify it without having to take it off of him.
Well, here's the catch. Anyone who is skilled enough to learn more about that will look at it and know that they should not touch it. So you need to find someone who is skilled, but yet not very wise.
I don't know if I want to intentionally harm someone. I just would like to know more about this.
I think it's. Is it more like to deceive them so they don't know what it is?
And Zala looks over and goes, I would urge you to tell us, where did you find it? Knowing the source of its discovery may lead to its origin, its story. Did you find this in some delve, or did you find it? Did you find it? How did you find this?
Oh, we found it in the water.
In the water. Washed
Of
up.
course. Washed on the shore.
And she kind of looks over and she looks back at you. And Neville continues drinking and goes, did you find anything else that was washed up with it, or is it all that it is?
Oh, there were a few things washed up.
Like
Nothing very important that we saw.
You may not think it is important, but maybe if we put it all together, we'll know the story.
3 corpses.
I'm going to let Neville know all of this is new to me. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, 3 of the unimportant thing were corpses. 2 of them weren't corpses before we got there.
So
Or was it 3 of them we fought?
You killed?
You remember? Well, not for it. And see it as a...
Glenn, you're being very quiet. I know you. You and I have somewhat of a history. Tell me. We trust each other, right? Tell me.
I'm going to ask him if he knows anything about these fishmen we've fought on a couple of occasions. Do you know anything about fishmen?
Oh, pirates, privateers, sailors, all speak of fishmen.
More fish than man.
Marrow. Do they have fins? Do they swim about? Or do they walk on 2 legs? 2 different things.
I want to talk to Zala and say these were deep ones.
Deep ones, Zala.
Ooh, yeah, there we go.
That is very interesting. Servants of Umberlee, these are generally. Bad omen to be dealing with these deep ones.
Bad omen to be walking around with a cursed necklace on.
Really dealing with them so much as we were killing them.
Well, they attacked us.
What are your intentions? Are you going to be staying in town longer, or do you mean to leave?
I mean to sleep for the night at least.
Yeah. How about we do this? Let's have a good night's rest. We'll come back in the morning. We'll have breakfast here, and we'll discuss whatever it is that is.
Mugrunden, you better shove that up you like Pulp Fiction style. They're coming forth.
It's okay. We have a meeting with these 2 in the morning.
Okay.
Where they get their hat back and we figure out what our plan is for the future.
Okay. All right. So, yes.
During the time where me and Danny are in the room, I'm going to encourage him. I want to say, look, I don't know what y'all found, but he's already pulled your butt out of the fire one time. He loaned you a hat. I think you can trust him, and if not, you're not doing anything with
right. And my guy, and Glendon really likes this guy, so he would probably be open to, telling him things.
He'd kill for him.
I'm going to ask if there's anything else.
Yeah, I'll tell him about the scroll.
Y'all are away from them at this point.
This is up in the room.
Oh, so at this point, Finn. Okay, we're moving the set now. So Finn and Glenn, y'all have had your drinks. Y'all are turning in for the night. You go to your accommodations, and they're quite nice. They're way nicer than what Finn is used to. Glenn, you normally pass out on the floor at the Beacon, so you're just like, hey, this is great. It's actually a bed. The bed is made for a normal sized person, so your legs are hanging off the end. It would be like any night that Flint sleeps in a regular sized bed. It just used to hang off the end. Anyway. So y'all are having. So we're gonna do 2 scenes. The first scene will be between Finn and Glenn, and then we'll have a scene with Mugrunden. So the first scene with Finn and Glenn as y'all are in the room. So conversation, go.
All right, I'll pull out the scroll and say, just show it to him and say, what do you see?
Okay, what language is it in?
All right, so you pull out a scroll, and it's made of this parchment called Villium, and as you roll it out, it's completely blank.
Looks like you just have a piece of paper, friend.
Now I go, all right. And I'll grab like a candle. I'm sure we have candles in there.
Yeah.
And just kind of, put it behind. And
as the candle begins to illuminate, as the flame gets not touching it, but just close enough to it, the flame from the candle flickers, and you start seeing actual script begin to appear on the parchment itself. And it is quite a long, like a journal entry. And if you'll go to your handouts, there is the Enchanted Villium Scroll. You can actually read what it says. So, tell you what, Glenn and Finn, you two go over this again. Y'all read it. We're going to pause while y'all are reading the scroll, and we're going to go see Mugrunden.
Hello, I am Mugrunden.
Mugrunden, you're in your room. You've had your double shot of ale. You're taking off your armor and getting ready for some sleep. You've got
what's kind of the layout of the room? Because I want to be prepared for company.
There is a window, and there is a closet, and there is one door.
What floor am I on?
The second floor. So this is on the second floor. And the closet has it is a closet / washroom that has a basin, mirror, and a like toilet, like the circle cutout that goes straight down to the bottom.
Okay. And the window opens where I could fit through fairly easily?
Yeah, there's no ledge, so if you just open it, you're just looking like straight down the street.
Okay, excellent. All right. I'll start doffing my armor.
Okay.
And getting ready for bed, getting washed up and such.
Okay.
Keeping my daggers nearby, and my maul will be propped up next to the window.
All right. So you start taking off the chainmail, and it feels good just to get it off. As you go, as you're undressing everything, you get all the way down to your clothes, and you get ready for bed. And the necklace, the amulet itself, it doesn't move about you normally. It's almost like magnetically stuck to you. And it's like,
does the chain move as the medallion stays?
Moves. The medallion itself is
nice.
like stuck on your chest. And as you lay down, and as the candle is burning and flickering as the only light left in the room, you begin to doze off. And as you do begin to doze off, you fall into REM sleep extremely fast and begin dreaming. And in this dream, you see this girl being thrown off the side of like a cliff, like a rock, and falling into the ocean. You see several men that were involved in this as they were like pushing her over, and you're seeing this almost like first person as you're running to try to catch her, to save her, and you see yourself push past those men, and as she's falling into the water, you actually jump and dive after her. As you reach out, you see your dragonborn hands like in front as you're diving towards the water, and as right before she hits the water, you look and you see circling sharks that are circling around as she falls right in the center of the circling sharks. You wake up and you look about the room, and you see that same shadow of yourself look back at you, and then look and point towards the door.
Jump up.
You jump up. You hear a knock at the door.
I grab them all since I've got time.
Right.
I walk up to the door, lean up against it, and say, "Who's there?"
It is Zala.
Zala. I open the door.
You open the door. She is scantily dressed and asks you, "Would you like some company tonight?"
I suppose we can talk for a little bit. Come on in.
And
look at the
and for the sake of the fact that We're just going to close the door on that one. All right, so the
No,
door
close the door.
closes. We go back to Glenn and Finn. All right, so Glenn and Finn, y'all have read over the scroll again, the journal entry of Rory Barbosa, and this tale of this Isle of Dread that he sailed to, and this treasure that is supposedly at the center of this island. And you do note that he makes this mention of this massive black pearl that is hidden somewhere on this island. This is the scroll that was found in the footlocker next to the sailor who had the amulet originally, who had died, the half-elf that had died with the amulet. So that is the story that Glenn shares to Finn of how they found it. But now, Finn, you now have the whole story as you have read the scroll. So do you have any questions about the scroll itself?
Did the scroll have a case that it came in?
It did have a case, which they still have. It is cracked, and which is why there was so much water that had flooded into it. So it's dried now, but it's a cracked scroll case.
Can I look at it and inspect it, see if there's anything I notice on it?
Yeah.
The scroll also gives off like a slight little. No, wait. That was the other one.
No, the
wasn't
scroll
it?
does. The scroll is slightly
A
magical.
slight kind of magical glow.
It is enchanted. You look over the casing itself. It does seem rather plain, but you give me an investigation check. All right.
Nice.
Hang on one second. Let me pull up my notes. Okay. There is a small inscription on the inside of the case because the case, it rolls this way, but it also can open this way once it does. So it actually cap comes off and then the whole thing like pops open. Inscribed on the inside is the two words. It's Vorex's Emporium.
Okay. I'm going to make a note of that to ask Neville about in the morning to see if he knows the location of this place.
Have we ever heard of Port? Oh gosh, Nyanzaru?
Have I ever heard of it?
You haven't, Glendon. Finn, you do.
Okay.
Port Nyanzaru is the trading port in Chult.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. All right. So it appears that your friend here in the journal is talking about a treasure map because he made a map, is what it basically
Oh, you
was
have
alluding
that
to.
as well. That is also in the case. Yeah. If you go down, you'll see the Isle of Dread map. This is the map that he made. It's a hex map. So he has the outline of the island itself, but not what's on the inner part of the island.
Is this familiar to me at all?
No. It looks like a fairly large island just by the scale, but it's hard to tell.
Okay. Huh. That's interesting.
And in the bottom right, that's what he's talking about. That
Actually,
wall that separates.
Finn, aren't you a cartographer?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You know the exact scale of the map, and you can tell exactly how wide and the scale of the map is. You also know that the person that made it actually had some pretty good skill with cartography. And but looking over the map, if you could get close enough to an island, you could probably find your bearing pretty easy.
Nice.
Okay. So,
and I would just like to say that I actually found a use for cartography.
Hey,
there you go.
So, just on a side note, just out of character, would a massive black pearl like this be something to persuade Umberlee to change her allegiances towards minions?
It'd be a pretty mighty gift.
Huh. That's got my character's wheels turning for like, could this be something that I could use to fix the issue that we have, that Tritons have?
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
Okay. So now I'm kind of buying into this now. I'm thinking about it.
So I'm going to ask Finn.
I might want to talk to.
I'll ask you, Finn. Should we bring this up to our Yuan-Ti and halfling friend tomorrow, or keep it hush hush?
So to me, they strike me as the type to stay. They're going to stay in Baldur's Gate, but they may front something that could possibly, as long as they get a cut.
Right.
Which this is talking like there's all kinds of things there, but there could be nothing. There could be, who knows? You seem to be a man of your word. I'm a man of my word. Neville strikes me as the type as a man of his word. So maybe if there's an agreement, they could be interested in it. I mean, what were you going to do without it on your own?
I don't know.
Would you ever have the supplies to go after something like this?
Neville just said he was going to help me in the city. So that's why I was here, trying to escape, basically.
I myself am an open book. And I'm going to tell Danny basically why I'm here.
Which is?
So the whole reason why I'm even here and why I've been posing as a follower of Umberlee is because me and my kind are dedicated to eradicating the Krakens and the Leviathans that have escaped to the elemental plane of water to your realm. Umberlee has kind of taken them in as her minions, struck a deal with them. So I'm wondering if the reason why I've been posing is because I've been tracking any information that I would get from Neville or from the temple of locations of Leviathans and Krakens and relaying it to my people that have changed over from the elemental plane of water to this side to eradicating it.
Gotcha.
So now my thinking is if I could find a treasure wondrous enough to where she turns her allegiance away from the Krakens and the Leviathans, then they won't have a hiding place. She's hiding them right now from us and only sending them out as her enforcers when needed. Gotcha. If I can turn her favor against them, then we could mop them up and be done with it. And then we're back to our realm.
Right. Okay.
That's awesome.
So I'm
for guidance.
I love it.
Okay. So morning comes. Each of you are well rested after your long rest. You come down to have breakfast. Glenn.
I don't feel rested.
Yeah, right. Well,
Just kidding.
Glenn and Finn, y'all get down. Y'all come down, and Neville is already got breakfast all out. I mean, he's got like a little, almost like a buffet set up at the table with eggs and bacon and pastries and juice and really like this melon juice. This looks absolutely amazing. Y'all come and y'all sit down having breakfast, and he looks over and y'all see Mugrunden and Zala come in together.
Well, looks like morning has come indeed.
All right, so
interesting timing. That's all it is.
Right. So
Did
y'all
she take a drink from the mug last night?
We're gonna just go right past that one, and we're just gonna go straight to breakfast. So y'all have breakfast, and as y'all are eating and drinking the melon juice and having the pastries and the eggs, having this big hearty breakfast, Neville looks over to Zala and goes, "Well, what's the rest of the story?" And she turns and she tells Neville the entire story, all of it. Everything with the Enchanted Valium, where they found it. Apparently, Mugrunden talks a lot in his sleep, and is very easy to persuade to talk after he's been coerced in a certain way. And she just basically just lays it all out, and Neville goes,
Well, Mugrunden standing there. He goes, "It's true. I've been told this before."
all right.
I've been had yet again.
And Neville goes, well, very interesting, very interesting. So, I understand why you are so guarded with this information, but I would like to enter into an arrangement. I'm assuming that y'all are going to go after this pearl or whatever, this treasure. It is true.
I ain't telling you nothing.
But you already have, mate. All right.
I'm going to look over at Glenn and be like, don't.
So I believe I will give you a safe passage out of Baldur's Gate. I will provide you with a way to have a vessel to travel wherever you need to go, and provisions as well. Should be around as well. And I will only require, we'll say 20%.
20% of what?
Whatever it is you find.
What if we find a kraken? Do you want a 20% of the kraken?
In that case, we're going to talk about things of inherent value. So 20%.
Oh, okay.
So anything that you find whatsoever, 20% of that will come back to me. Are we agreed? Are we one of accord on this?
Does anyone want to try to negotiate?
I'm going to say, are you sending a representative?
Yes, I am. You.
I'll be like the other 80.
You're lucky. You're lucky. I'm interested in this.
So 20%. Are we good? Yes.
Yeah. My friends. Why I have to consult with Finn and London.
Zala, if you would, we're going to finish up breakfast. Would you go and prepare the contract for our good friends here? So she leaves.
Some sort of mystical contract.
Yes, she leaves to get the contract, and y'all all continue to have breakfast. She goes, I am so excited. You know, in my younger days, I always dreamed that I would be one of these adventurers to go out and conquer the world and bring back treasure. But there's only one problem. I'm terrible with a blade, and I'm even worse when it comes to the mystical arts. So I instead just found a way to bankroll other people to do it for me. So quite a fortuitous conversation we are having.
Well, I'd say that it sounds a little safer, but I imagine there's some good bit of danger in your line of work as well.
Oh, yes. Quite a lot. So where will you be traveling to?
I ain't telling you nothing.
I'm gonna look at him and go, Chult.
Chult. Ah, yes, Chult. Well, when you go to Chult, I have a cousin there that may be able to help you, okay? So if you will tell this cousin of mine, be sure you write this name. His name is Milo Underfoot. Milo Underfoot. If you go and see my cousin, he should be able to set you up should you need any more supplies or information once you get to Chult. I'm assuming you're going to Port Nyanzaru. Is that correct?
Yes, but I have another question for you.
Yes.
I'm going to ask him about the Emporium that was in the scroll case, if he knows that name.
And what was that? The Emporium scroll case? This part I don't know.
The name of the... I don't have pen and paper here.
Well, I'm
going
going to
write down the name of the thing that was...
Let me see if I can find it. Valtrex. Oh, Vorex's Emporium.
Vorex's Emporium, yes. A bit of an oddity shop. A fellow Dragonborn like yourself runs it, named Vorex. He is also quite a curious character. He runs this oddity shop in Port Nyanzaru itself, so it looks like maybe that scroll case actually came from there. Looks like all points are converging for you to be in this port. Now, I will tell you, it is nothing is as dangerous as Baldur's Gate, but Port Nyanzaru is quite treacherous in its own right.
All right, so I think we all need to make sure that our problems are addressed in this contract. Here's all that I require, Neville.
Okay.
I need something to offer to Umberlee of great value to try to assuade her from using the denizens that she has now. I care nothing else for worldly material possessions.
That could be your
One
80%.
So you don't necessarily care about the what, it's the amount.
It is all about the value. I don't care if you want to take one thing that's 80% of whatever you find and keep it, that's totally okay, as long as I get my 20%. Now, that being said,
So,
if you find one thing, then we'll have to sell it so that I get my 20%.
all right, so you're handling the passage and the vessel.
Correct.
You're supplying no physical.
I am. You are doing that. I am giving you direction, a ship, and supplies.
I'm gonna place my hand on his shoulder and say, "You don't owe me."
Well, you are making a deal with me. You do not have a boat. I have boats. You do not
Right,
have
but
supplies.
you're not
I have supplies.
You're not supplying me. I'm not part of the 20%.
You
can't sell me
I am
and charge
selling you my help for 20%. Agreed?
I'm gonna
Finn,
roll.
if you
I'm gonna roll insight.
Okay. He is completely legit, and you trust him all the way.
It was
As
two
long as I
19s
get
and then it went.
I know.
As long as I get my item to try to trade with Umberlee.
Sure.
Like,
I believe Umberlee will be happy with her 80%. Mugrunden, Glendon, are you agreed? Everything is okay? Any problems at all before we continue? I see Zala is ready for the contract.
Oh, I agree that Umberlee will be happy with her 60%.
Whatever.
I need my
and
my
honestly,
cut too.
who cares, right? Who cares? As long as everyone gets paid.
So long as Neville gets his 20%.
Exactly. Now we are thinking on one accord. Zala, you're correct. So she comes in and she has a small, like grayish, like ash-colored cauldron, small, like this big, and she sets it down at the middle of the table and she throws some herbs in it and everything. Goes, yes, we are ready for the contract. She goes, oh, perfect. From this, I will bid you adieu. Zala will continue the business arrangement.
You don't like seeing the blood part, do you, Neville?
Huh? Oh no, I don't. It's and he's oh, and by the way, Mr. Glendon, I would like my hat back at this point.
What do I got to do to wrestle this hat from you?
Oh no, I need the hat. It's part of my look itself. And he reaches over and he just takes it off of your head, like whatever you're disguised as, like he just pulls it off, puts it back on himself, and he walks away. Zala, she begins, she throws some more like almost like this, like a small like black powder. She kind of pushes it, just like a little puff of smoke that kind of like goes and fills the area. And she begins talking. And as she's talking, she's like sliding her tongue in like this really weird way that you're not. Whatever she's saying, you don't know this language. And as she begins looking over, her eyes do that thing where it rolls back, and she's got the snake eyes again, like the slits. And she looks over. You're all locked into it. Each of you give me a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage because you've all been poisoned. Mind numbing from the melon juice.
Mind poisoned.
So wisdom, right?
Yes. So,
Where's my
wow,
character sheet?
Glendon, pretty good, Glendon. Mugrunden, that's amazing, Finn. Oh no, disadvantage. Mugrunden, that's a 3.
Oh no, disadvantage.
That's right. I'm still missing. Oh no, I see Wes's wisdom save. He was first. Okay, so Glendon, you she's going all over all this. You're just eating the pastry. You're listening. You're not really sure what she's saying. You just kind of like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds great. I don't know what I'm agreeing to. You're fine. Finn and Mugrunden, on the other hand, you lock in and you start hearing this voice in your head talking about how you have 90 days to return 20% of whatever you find here. And if you don't retrieve it in the time that is required, or you don't come back with the required 20%, you will face unimaginable pain. Y'all are both now under the subject of a greater geese, and will take mechanically a whole crap load of psychic damage if you do not bring back the 20%
of nothing is nothing.
Huh?
Yeah, but 20% of nothing is nothing if we don't find
Whatever
anything in
you
90
find,
days.
you have to bring back 20%.
So I'm not under this.
No, you're not. You're just eating a pastry.
So he doesn't even hear that, though.
No.
I'm just saying, hey guys, this is good Danish.
Which is so on brand for a furball. Right. You know, this is great. All right. With that, a few minutes later, you see Neville come around the corner. Well, I've located a boat for you. You just need to go down to the south dock and get it. I believe it's already supplied, ready to go on its voyage. You just need to go get it. I tell you exactly where it's at. It's a small a keelboat, a skiff, if you will. It should be perfect. 2 people can man it. There's 3 of you. It'll be perfect. Absolutely perfect.
You're taking 20% for a 3-man boat?
Yes.
I was thinking more like a yacht.
Provisions.
Yeah, and we have to crew it.
Provisions.
A couple oranges and some jerky.
Boats are expensive.
Yeah.
Well, Finn, we're already in our contract, I think.
Yeah, at this point, y'all are.
Do they know? So they heard that, so they're conscious of the 90 days.
Right.
Yeah, but if I don't find anything in 90 days, I give them nothing.
True.
Right.
So all we have to do is not find anything for 90 days.
Is it 90 days from today?
Yeah.
Or is it 90 days from when we find something?
From today.
Oh.
I didn't hear it. I'm just like, awesome.
So everything we find from this point out?
Yes.
All right, I'm slitting my own throat. I'm done. I had no choice in this.
Put the blinders on.
Yeah.
We ain't.
Wait. Hold on. I never ate any food. I don't eat landwalker food.
Anything. Okay, even if you didn't eat, you rolled a 10 and 11, both of which would fail. Come on!
There was some,
So basically, the food gave you a disadvantage.
There's
But
some-
you didn't eat any.
I don't like being a gun over a barrel on something that I would have easily done to begin with.
Yeah, but he wants his 20%.
Huh?
He wants his 20%.
I want my freedom of choice.
It's like dealing with the Huts.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to look at Neville and say, we are no longer allies. I now consider you something a little worse.
That's totally okay as long as you bring me my 20%. I will trade your friendship for 20% of whatever you find over the next 3 months.
I'm also going to tell him you made a mistake this day.
We'll see about that. That's the fighting spirit. Now go get your boat.
Sala, it's been a pleasure.
And remember, you can resupply with my cousin in Port Nanzaro. Milo will help you out. That's also part of the deal.
We don't have to bring you 20% of Milo, do we?
Whatever deal you make with Milo is between you and Milo.
Well, my friends, I think we have a boat to catch.
Yes, you do. And he tells you which dock to go get. It's on the far end. It's a smaller dock. Mugrunden, you know the docks extremely well. You know exactly which one it is. It's like the extreme far end. It's actually it's a small dock for smaller boats. Usually small fishing vessels. Should be fine. With that, you guys leave. Now, here's the thing. Glendon, you are now a furbolg, and you're running through a town that you are wanted.
Right. So as soon as he took it off, I'm gonna disguise self.
Okay. To look like?
I can only go down to about 6.5 feet. I guess I'll go back to elf.
Okay. So you're just Johnny Carson elf again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're walking around as an elf. It won't take long to get down the docks. Once we go to the dock here. All right. So basically, y'all can make your way down this way here to go to the docks. And you go all the way down. If you look down over this way, this is where you're trying to get to. Okay, this is the smaller dock. You get down, you walk through the market. It's early morning. The streets are bustling. People are walking about. This area was not really hit almost like at all. It was basically like just a bad storm that came in. So this is just typical. You see the flaming fist, people walking around. One thing you do see in the middle of the town is you see a group of heavily armored men with their maces out, just absolutely pummeling some poor guy in the middle of the street. There's 3 of them. They're just like flogging this guy. And as hard as they're beating him, the guy's just taking it. And you look over and everyone's just like kind of stepping back, letting them do it. As you walk by, you see the sigil. Now, Finn, you recognize these guys. You live here. These are Paladins of Helm, which is like the crusaders that are out, and they're kind of hell-bent on dealing with the whole lycanthrope problem here in town, and they seem to have found one. And you look over and you see this poor guy, and as he looks up and his face like shifts between human and like rat, and they're just beating the crap out of this thing. So that's the scene in the middle of the town that's going on here. Is there anything y'all want to do with that, or just kind of pass it?
Yeah, I'm gonna yell when I see him beating that guy, and yell for them to stop.
Okay.
Or
also,
hey, what do you do?
Point of order, y'all are level 3 now.
Okay.
Okay.
I level up in the evening.
Yes.
Very good.
Could we use another boat hand?
All right.
Well.
So you look up and goes, "Mind your way, citizen. This filth belongs to that thieves guild, and we've been after him for a while." And you see this little guy going, "No, no, no," and he's just like, they're just beating the absolute crap out of him.
I feel like you'd rather hit something that hits back.
And with that, you see him. He kind of like stands up and he goes, "You better stand back, citizen."
Everything I've seen of Civilization makes me hate it.
That's true. This is your first.
I'm just like, oh my god, the faster I can get to this godforsaken hellhole in Schult, the better.
I'll glance at Glendon and Finn. I don't want to start a fight that they're not down for. Kind of see if I can gauge the two of them.
Is this rat guy, does he have manacles on, or is he just kind of on the ground?
He's just
writhing?
on the ground, just wearing clothing.
I'm just going to look at Mugrunden, because none of us are human. I'm just going to say, sometimes I don't even know why we help humanity.
Ditto.
And
well, if he's half not human.
He is Thieves Guild.
No, I'm talking about the ones beating.
And I'm kind of like a junior G-man Thieves Guild member.
I'm going to approach them and say, "Gentlemen, is there anything we could do to dissuade you from just beating this man senseless?"
Well,
I'm going to get kind of within 5 feet.
He goes, "Well, you know what the ears of this thing go for, right? They're 20 gold apiece. They're 40 gold this thing is worth."
Hey, Finn, I've got an idea of what we can do. And I pull out my maul.
All right, so there's 3 guys here, all in like full on like heavy plate mail, and you pull out the maul.
I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. What? Hold on, gentlemen. Hold on.
Perhaps there's a diplomatic approach. My
I'm
guy
trying
is
to
all
wait-
about
okay,
diplomacy.
Here's what I'm gonna try to do. I want to try to get it to where it's guy, and they're kind of turned and they're letting us see the rat creature below to where I'm the fourth in the wheel around.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm going to cast darkness.
Oh, yes, you are. Okay.
Surprise!
Right. Okay. So I'm basically saying you're going to basically cast it on them. So it just encapsulates the three.
Like from me around them, I'm going to grab the rat guy and we're going to haul ass towards the boat.
Okay. All right. Okay. So when you cast this,
if you need a little visual, I will do that.
I would like a visual. What does this look like? First time casting darkness. Darkness, everybody.
Ooh.
So I'm going to put my hands on both of their shoulders and look at them.
Mm-hmm.
And my eyes are going to look like they just coat over in black inkiness. I'm going to smile, and then they're just going to see fog come in from behind them, envelop them in darkness.
Okay, nice. All right, so this mist comes in, this fog. It's just completely magical darkness that it covers. They all three of them go to like they're scrambling about. In this brief moment, you go and you grab. And you kind of basically like grab the foot of this rat person and kind of drag it across the ground. Y'all see him like pull this rat person out, and you see him like kind of scrambling, like trying to, he doesn't know the plan. He's not privy to the plan.
Yeah.
And as you're pulling him, he's like, and he kind of looks up. As soon as y'all start running, you hear one of the men bellow out, by Helm's light, and his shield just begins emanating this magical light that is now fighting against the darkness itself. So while they're in like confusion, I know that Finn, you've taken off. The Rat Man is following. What are Mugrunden and Glenn doing?
Well, when the darkness fell. Before he lit up with the brightness of his shield, I took a swing in the dark.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. All right. I'm going to give you advantage on the attack.
Advantage? Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so that'll be that 19 will hit. So do roll your damage. So 2d6 plus.
I will re-roll both of those. 6 damage.
All right, so you go.
Wait, do I get +2 or +1 with my double handing it?
I think it's just 1.
Okay, so 6 damage.
Yeah, so 6. All right, so you go. Your maul like clips into the plate thigh guard of one of these. You take the foot out from under him. You hear his body drop. So that happens. The darkness hits. They're running. Now, while that is happening, Glendon, free action. What are you doing in all this chaos?
I'm going to talk to Rat Guy and say, I'm with the
well, he's running.
Come with us.
Okay, so you're running with him. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right, so he's running as well. Y'all are both running. Y'all, okay, so at this point, Glendon, the rat, and Finn are running. Mugrunden, you took a swing. What are you doing after you take the swing? Are you standing your ground?
No, I'm going to take off running after.
You're just taking a cheap shot.
Yeah, it caused a little chaos.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so you sweep the guy out, and then y'all run.
I got to fight the 3 of them by myself.
Right. All right, so y'all run. Y'all get lost in the crowd as the paladins go look. The light eventually dissipates the darkness, and they're like reaching over, picking up. And at this point, like y'all are running, you hear them bellowing out magical calls of like, you can hear they're casting a lot of spells and buffing up as they're running after you. So they're running into the crowd, but they took their time to like bless and Crusader Mantle and all this and Divine Fury. I mean, they're all like ready to absolute beat the crap out of y'all. Y'all are running. So basically this happened here and now y'all are running this way. Finn, you are furthest. You're the fastest and the fleetest of foot. The Rat Man is right behind you. As y'all are running towards the dock, the Rat Man, he runs up this way. And you just see him like run up and dive into a hole in the rock.
I'm just going to yell, good luck, friend.
Yeah, he just runs and just dives into a rock. He's vanished. Like, he's just gone. He's scurried away. You two run.
Operate the rudder.
Huh?
He was supposed to control the rudder. to be our rudder man.
Yeah, I am
Rudder boy.
ass.
All right. So at this point, y'all are running down the dock. Finn, you're first. Glendon, you're second. Mugrunden, you're here. Okay. So y'all are running, and Mugrunden, you're probably a little bit further back. All right. So y'all are running up the dock. You see, of the boats that are gone, there's one boat left, just exactly where Neville said it would be. You see, on the boat there are two sailors walking around. They've got on the sail, on the side of the sail, they've got this large crate that they've got locked down, and they've kind of using like a pulley, and they're holding it. And you can see them kind of like, poking at it, like they're poking at this stick. So that's happening on the boat. Y'all are running towards your boat. There are two sailors on the boat, and they've got like a crate that they've got on a pulley in the middle of the boat itself. So
I'm going to say, we're leaving now!
Yeah.
And they look up and goes, "Where are you going, mate?"
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh no! Don't say that. Say we're going to
To sea.
All right, so y'all are running.
Not here.
As y'all are kind of running up, you see these two men on there. Goes, whoa, slow down! I think you've got the wrong boat.
No, this is the right boat.
Neville?
Who?
Oh no, Neville! Neville said this was our boat, and whether it is or not, we're taking it.
Glendon will make a thief out of you yet. All right, so
as I'm running, I'm rolling my eyes, and I'm jumping, and I'm launching into a flying kick to knock one of them off the boat.
All right, give me an attack. He's flat-footed. They're not expecting it. Roll with advantage.
We're going to piss off every single faction in Baldur's Gate.
Whoa, what is... Oh, it rolled damage at the same time.
All right. Not a problem. So you kick the guy. He goes flying off the side of the boat. So now, Finn, you are now on the boat. You've knocked a man off. Glendon, you're coming up behind him. Mugrunden, you're coming up. Glendon, what are you going to do?
Ditto. I'm going to try to knock the other guy off, I guess.
You're going to run. How are you going to try to knock the person off the boat?
Just flying tackle. Just like
tackle.
body slam.
Just body slam. All right.
Starman from Pro Wrestling.
All right.
That's what
Starman from Pro Wrestling. All right. So roll with advantage.
All right. What would this be? Like a strength or an attack? Or?
It is an attack. Yeah. We're kind of we're flying loose right now.
We'll dumb down the damage.
Yeah. Yeah, these are jabronis. So basically, you run up, you just shield bash the guy off the side of the boat. He goes flying. So y'all have basically cleared the boat for Mugrunden. Mugrunden, you run. As you're looking over your back, you see the paladins are running down. They're running slower because they're in full plate mail, but you can hear the clank, clank with the plates kind of banging up against each other. And you look back, the lead one is like 3 feet taller than he was before, and he's glowing this radiant energy. They are coming to absolutely kick ass. So, Mugrunden, what are you going to do?
So I push the boat off the dock with my foot.
Okay.
And I hop in, and I'm gonna start taking this thing out to water.
You run now. As a sailor, it's actually tied off. So are you gonna take the time to like untie it or just
slice?
Spear is slicing the rope, and I'm grabbing the rope and jumping in the water.
And you're gonna pull it out?
I'm going to key dash underwater swimming and try to get this thing moving as quickly as possible.
Athletics check. Let me see if it helps.
And I'm going to use...
Yes, he does! All right, so all of this is happening so fast. So, Mugrunden, you go and you jump on the boat. You push the boat off. You see Finn take the rope, dive into the water, and with just strength of the depths, pulls the boat away from the dock itself, and he's
You actually see the ripples look like a stone in the rock, like.
Yeah. The boat's actually moving away. So y'all get a good 20 feet out, and the paladins look, and you see one guy just take this javelin and just throw it as hard as he can at Mugrunden.
So hold on, as I'm doing this, can I feel where that echo is at? That other sense of self.
Yes.
Can I attempt to manifest it on the dock?
Yes, you can.
I do so.
Okay, so you make.
So as I jump into the boat, I manifest that echo to be facing off and ready to fight the paladins.
Okay. Instead of throwing the javelin at you, he throws the javelin at the one they left behind. He's going to throw it at the echo of yourself. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay.
Just saying.
That would be a 24 to hit.
Jesus. Yeah, a 24 will hit.
Okay, and a javelin does like a D6, I think, or.
Yeah, it's got 1 hit point, so.
Okay, and that would have been 6 plus 5, so 11 damage.
So it's a poof.
Yeah, so he throws the javelin. The echo. Y'all see this other version of himself stand there at the dock. Now, the Dragonborn you see at the dock, this is the first time you've actually seen the full image of it. Every time you've seen it before has been like a glimmer of it. You see him standing there, longer horns up. Still the same shade of scale as you, still looks like you, just larger horns, but he also has a tail.
Nice.
And you see this thing go through. You see the echo like just stand like he's about to charge, and he just the echo dissipates as the javelin goes through him. And with that, y'all sail out of the dock as the Paladins of Helm declare that they will get vengeance on you.
Oh, good.
In this life or the next.
In this life or the next. All right, so our time in Baldur's Gate was spent well. You've upset Umberlee, the Paladins of Helm, the Flaming Fist, and you made a deal with the Thieves Guild.
Yes.
My weekend at Baldur's Gate.
Fortuitous.
All right.
Perhaps not fortuitous.
All right, so we have a boat. Let me... It is a boat.
Didn't cost us a thing.
Didn't cost you a thing. All right, so as you get onto the boat, y'all are sailing. Mugrunden, you've been sailing as long as you can remember. You know how to pull the sails and pull everything together. You know all about the ropes. In fact,
I'm proficient in water vehicles. Even.
You are.
Ooh, nice.
You know rope use.
I know rope use.
Rope use. All right.
Use rope.
Right. So you're tying all the knots and you're kind of barking the commands. Glendon, this is your first time in a boat. And you're just kind of, so as he's barking commands, Finn, you know a lot about boats. You've been on boats. So Finn and Mugrunden, y'all are kind of pulling together. After Finn kind of swims, I guess you get back in the boat. Y'all are kind of sailing off. As they are doing all that, Glendon, you look around and you see this crate that's hanging off of this pulley in the middle of the boat.
Can I just like pull it down, or do I need to like cut it, or?
You do. You reach up, you easily pull it down, and when you pull it out, you hear a voice come out of it. It goes, no. And you're like,
oh, I think we have a stowaway. Should we open it? Who's in there?
I think he said not to open it.
Who's in there?
Please.
And why are you in a friggin' crate?
Please, no, kill Nebu.
Nebu?
Nebu.
Crack the top.
You crack the top.
We're not gonna kill you.
You crack the top. You see this small green lizard man like look up and go, What? Who are you? What am I? What's going on?
Why are you in a crate, my friend?
And he kind of growls and goes, I was captured and sold.
Captured by who?
One of the men. And she says it in this growl, like, men.
Well, we're not going to sell you, friend. We're actually leaving Baldur's Gate.
Tell him, well, we stole their boat.
Yeah.
Oh, you befriend a Nebu?
Sure.
And now he's talking to.
I don't know my friends.
He's talking to Glendon, and then he sees Finn, and then you see his head kind of peek out, and he kind of looks around. When he sees Mugrunden, he goes, "Oh, I serve you! I serve you!"
See, kobold.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Oh, nice.
Of course he is.
Oh, Nebu.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate, the game.
Yes. Oh, Nebu. We will.
Get to work, Nebu.
I've already
You
had
work for your
enough of
food
this.
from now on.
I've already had enough of this. I'm just going to check to see what provisions are on the boat.
There are
I'm
actually a
okay.
lot of provisions. Neville was actually correct in that. They were ready to set sail. There's plenty of rice. There's a couple of kegs of ale down in the galley. It's fully stocked. They were ready to. It looks like they were going on a long fishing journey. There's there's harpoons. There's fishing nets. It's a fishing vessel.
Hey, we have a fishing net +1.
We have a +1 net. I forgot about the +1 net.
All right. So there's our little green man, Nebu. And Nebu will now be controlled in everyone's journals.
Let's see.
Who had the +1 net?
I don't know who's had the +1 net.
I had the +1 net.
All right, so Nebu is kind of looking around. He kind of crawls out and he goes, so Dragon Lord, who?
Yes.
Yes. What would you have Nebu do?
No, help operate the sails. Grab that rope over there.
Oh, perfect. What is a sail?
I tell you what. You see that stick with the things on the end of it? It's called a mop.
Yes.
So start mopping the deck.
Oh, perfect. Nebu make you happy. And he goes and he begins mopping the deck. Okay. So you have gained a crew member, Nebu.
Oh, good.
The green kobold.
Just what we needed. Lizard Dobby.
Lizard Dobby. I didn't even think about that when I was coming up with him. Yes, all right. All right, but every
Dobby.
dragon needs a kobold.
I love it.
Every dragon
There
needs
you
a
go.
kobold or 100.
It's my favorite sitcom.
It is. What?
What?
Come again? All right, so from here, point of order, y'all are heading to Cholt, which is way south.
Right.
So I'm going to kind of give y'all a little bit of an idea. There are, basically, you're leaving Baldur's Gate, and you're going to head south. You're going to keep heading south. You're going to pass Candlekeep. Y'all see that? And then once you pass Candlekeep, then we're going to go to another map. If I can... Let me see. It's not... that.
Oh, that's another thing I'm looking for. I'm looking on the boat to see if they have charts and such. Because I can read them.
Right. Okay. So if you look at this map up here, you'll see Candlekeep. You're going to head south. Now, the next after you pass Candlekeep, the biggest town is Moran here, which is a good place to resupply. And then from there, you're going to sail all the way out this way, and you've got to go through the Nalanther Isles. And generally, you cut through here. And then from there, it's a straight shot to Cholt south, but it's pretty far. You're going to be on the open water for a while. Now, Mugrunden, you know this path well. You've sailed to Moran. It's a huge port town, and there are a lot of pirates and a lot of issues in Moran. So you're going to have to kind of help them understand, what to do and not to do. But Moran is a bustling port town. It's also the last bastion of civilization before you're going to head to Cholt. So that will be the end of tonight's game, as y'all are going to be setting sail to pass Candlekeep and head south to Moran. And then from Moran, you'll be heading to Cholt, to Port Nyanzaru.
Sounds
So
good.
I will have a series of maps up now. That will end game 3, and then we'll pick up next week for game